Awesome. Welcome everyone who's tuning in to episode 3. That is right, episode 3 of Unstructured. So this show has actually had continuity for once.
I know,
Um,
man.
it's an actual show.
Consistency.
Consistency. It's an actual show. But thank you to all of those listening in, those that joined us in chat today, Patreon supporters, and welcome. I am Young Yoda, aka Brad, one of the hosts, and here is Ayden, the other host. Ayden,
Where's Aiden?
how are we doing today?
Man, I'm fantastic, bro. Like, genuinely, like, today has been such a good day. This week was honestly like a pretty good week. It was like
Yeah,
honestly it
sounded
felt a
like
little
it.
Groundhog Day-y, but
Groundhog.
I know that I've got lots planned for this weekend that I'm really looking forward to, that I'm excited about. So, just holding out hope, you know?
Good deal. Yeah, I've been getting little bits and pieces during the week, so that's good to hear.
Yeah, man. Man, I've been freaking crammed though with like just stuff to do, so I haven't really been on my phone like that at all, man. Just
Yeah.
like work, they keep scheduling me to do all like these closing shifts, which I told them I don't mind the closing shifts, but I would rather not, because of how early I like to wake up. So haven't really been waking up at my usual time, which I feel like has kind of thrown me off,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, I don't know, I guess we could talk about that a little bit, like getting thrown off, because everyone's gonna stumble in this journey, of like self-improvement. There's gonna be
There's no such thing
day
as perfection.
none, because I wanted to come on this show and I wanted to be honest and I wanted to be like, like keep it real with all you guys, man. In the past 2 weeks, I feel like I've been struggling a little bit to like be on top of myself consistently, because finished this big workout challenge that I was doing, felt really accomplished, and then a couple of days later, just kind of like slowly, almost like self-sabotagey, like just started eating a little bit more than I normally do, like to the point where
Mm-hmm.
like I would be full and like I knew I was full, but I was still eating the food.
Because it was so good.
Yeah, and
Been
I and
there.
I wasn't able to, yeah, really, toe that line with myself to be like, okay, like I'm not hungry anymore. I do not need to keep eating this, and I just wanted to come clean about it, because I want people to know, listening to the show, that it happens to everyone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
As long
Yeah.
as you can be honest about it with yourself and realize that, maybe you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing right now, and regather, how can you fix that?
I mean, it's a whole journey. It's not just like, oh, I was good for a week. Like, no, this is a whole
Hmm.
journey. So you're gonna have those. You're gonna have those moments where it's not as good as other moments, and then you're gonna have great
Right.
moments. So it's just one of those things. Like we probably eaten out more this week than we have previous weeks. Still not fast food though.
Yeah.
So of course that means more expensive. So which is one bad thing, but it's like, okay, I got a burger, but I got a good burger, or
Yeah.
I got a steak, and it's been stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just one of those things you have to deal with that sometimes comes up. But
Exactly. How was
yeah,
your week though, man? You asked me how my week was. How was your week?
you know, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Um, the last couple days have been really good. Uh, Last night I put an extra 10 pounds under the bench, so
Yep.
up to 125 now, which is what I wanted to get for the
Jeez,
month.
man.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
So I got like 6 reps of 10 at 115. Then I'm like, I can do more. And then I finished, cuz I do 9 reps total usually. So I finished the last 3 at 125. So
Nice,
felt
man.
really good at that.
Progress.
Um
Progress.
Indeed. Also tomorrow, so I spent probably too much money this week on
Same.
credit on credit.
Boy.
So but I really need to fix my truck bumper because I
Yeah.
backed into a tree like 5 6 months
Oh,
ago.
fuck.
So
Damn, dude.
I've been needing to get that fixed. So my cousin, he's a mechanic. He's moved from Texas. So he's gonna help me put on a new bumper, and I ordered a steel one. So I'm looking
Nice.
forward to my truck being back to one beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Um, So that's gonna help
function.
my mental right there.
Yeah. Another tab that you can close in your head to be like, okay, I don't got to worry about that anymore.
Yeah,
Dude,
so that's good.
I'm in the same boat with shit that I've got cluttered up in my head right now, where it's like I'm $800 behind on some glasses that I still need to pay for. It's just because I just haven't been able to get to it yet. Because I'm very strict on myself, where it's like, yo, like this money goes into stocks. Like I
Mhm.
don't give a fuck what bill is due. I'm putting my money in stocks, especially right now while everything is down. And this is
While
not
investing is
financial
good.
advice. This is not official financial advice. This is just me saying out loud what I've been doing. I've been keeping my eye on that Tesla, man. I made some massive moves on purchasing Tesla, bro, because the last I looked, it was at like $300. So I was like, man, glasses or Tesla at 300. I've already got contacts. Tesla at 300 sounds pretty good.
And I guess the good thing about debt is sometimes you can carry that with you when
Yeah,
it's whatever. Um,
and it's not like it's like an urgent bill, or they're literally
yeah,
just like, as soon as whenever you get the money, just give us a call and we'll get them started for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but
yeah.
also I've got it like by the end of the month, I'm like, you have to pay for these glasses, Aiden. Like, it's getting ridiculous. It's been about a month since I went in for them, so I'm like, I got to get them paid for. Like, I have to.
Kind one of those necessaries that eventualities that you have to get to.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But
Yeah,
but this,
that was me with that bumper because the bumper's like 750. But at the
yeah,
same time, I'm like, okay, 750 and a pack of beer with my cousin, and we'll put it on. Or I end up paying like 2 grand for bringing it into a shop. So I'm like, fine, I won't be a tight ass on this
yeah,
one.
yeah. Fucking cars, man, ridiculous.
I mean, uh, I came in here with an idea what I wanted to talk about, or
What do you
what
got,
I
man?
thought we could talk about, and that's the definition of motivation. I posted 2 videos in our Discord. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I can do that right now. For those who tune in and are in chat, boom, Discord. Look at that. So, the
Boom.
link is up there to the server, to the Nerdcore server. Unstructured tab is under there. You'll see a bunch of videos we posted. Um, Aiden's posted a lot of good videos, a lot of good stuff.
I'm always
Uh,
posting stuff in there.
but
You can
yeah,
all if you can literally always catch me on the Discord, people. That's the only I guess that's the only social media that I really have, I guess, if you consider it that.
I'd say so. Um,
It's a form.
that's one of my main ones now. Even though Raul says I never read it,
Yeah. I'm
but
in like 3 servers, but
but I posted 2 videos in there. One from Jocko Willink and another from David Goggins, and they kind of go into the what the definition of motivation is, and what they basically. I'm just giving a quick rundown. Is they say motivation isn't for when you want to do stuff. Motivation is for that stuff you don't necessarily want to do. Like you don't necessarily want to work out 6 out of 7 days a week, but motivation is that you do. So it's doing the stuff that you don't want to. That's really what motivation is because you know it will progress you.
yep. Yeah, I've kind of been having that, like, to tie it back into like the food and like the overeating and stuff. Like I was kind of sitting there like thinking, I'm like, like my brain is trying to trick me into thinking that like this is what I desire right now and that this is what I enjoy. But I can literally like in the back of my head can hear myself, my conscious self being like, stop. Like, no, no, don't do that. Like, you don't need to be doing this. And I was like, all right, put it down. I was like, okay. When I look at it, is eating this, chocolate brownie ice cream sundae cup, is that gonna make me happy in 2 weeks from now? Or is putting it down, going to the gym, getting, upping my weights, you know, making my gains go up, is that gonna make me happier in 2 weeks from now? It was
Yeah.
just kind of that one of those epiphanies where it's like, man, like,
Yeah,
don't need this shit.
it's basically the long-term goals. Thank you, Jacob Felix, for
Yeah.
chiming in on YouTube.
Shout out to Jacob.
Hell yeah, that's right. And discipline is what keeps you going, brother.
Yep.
Agreed.
Big
Agreed.
facts. Because it's just like,
Um,
at, in order to become the person that you want to be, you have to put the actions in. Like I saw this quote. It was something that was like, intentions are not the same as actions. Like, you are not your intentions, you are your actions. It's like, whether or not you intend to do something at some point doesn't make up who you are now. If you
mhm.
intend to go to the gym but you're not going to the gym, or if you intend to read a book and you're not reading a book, if you intend to become financially stable, but you spend money at McDonald's and you spend money on DLC on video games, it doesn't matter what your intentions are, because they are not what your current actions are.
I mean,
You
it's
are your current actions.
yeah, it's the whole actions speak louder than words. It's that whole thing. Like, yeah, you can talk my ear off all day and say, oh yeah, I'm bettering myself. I'm gonna hit the weights,
Hmm.
hit the gym, all that, and then you just don't. And
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's like just what Jacob said. Discipline is continuing it. And I think motivation is one of those. It gets easier when you start it. I
yeah,
think the most difficult part of it is starting. And
yeah,
that was, I think, the first episode we went all into that, is that you just need to start.
yeah. I've been thinking a lot to, like, some ways that might be able to, like, help people, you know, get, like, snowballing, get rolling on wanting to actually get started. And we've talked about run 30 minutes a day, walk 30 minutes a day. We've talked about um, doing 20 push-ups a day, do 20 sit-ups a day. All that stuff is great, but it starts with, like, little things too. Like, you know, instead of spending an hour watching wrestling content, you could watch High Flyer Radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give us a listen, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, while you're walking on the treadmill, you can
Yeah,
totally listen to High Flyer.
yeah, you can
Or
totally do
even
that.
you can totally watch Raw. You can watch WWE Raw
Yeah,
while on the treadmill.
exactly.
Just get a
Instead of
Kindle up on
sitting
there.
down and yeah, because it's a common thing where it's like, there's a certain pleasure that we get out of eating at the same time that we're watching. Like, there's an intrinsic thing going on there, which is why movie theaters are as successful as they are. So maybe switch that habit into being, okay, like you were saying, treadmill. Instead of saying, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna watch this for an hour, and I'm gonna sit here with my popcorn, or I'm gonna sit here with my nuts, and eat this. You can turn that into, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and give this podcast a listen, or I'm not gonna consume this breakdown on this Dragon Ball movie that's not gonna better me in life, unless
Mhm.
unless there's something that you're actually gonna gain out, unless you do like a Dragon Ball YouTube channel or something, like, cool, but like, maybe that's not the best content for you to be consuming right now if you're behind on bills. Maybe something about how to budget, or how to, be accountable for yourself. Maybe some content like that, you know.
And
It's all about switching, just like
and
taking pieces out and putting different pieces in.
it's the thing with it is it's all dopamine. Like all that. And basically what you're changing from eating and getting that dopamine from eating and watching TV is now you watch TV on the treadmill and you're getting that dopamine from exercise because
Yeah,
it's that same thing. Um, you know,
yeah.
so
It
you're
creates a
just switching
switch.
one for another.
Yeah, it creates a switch in your head, whereas instead of turning on Raw and being, "Oh, I'm hungry," you're gonna turn on Raw and you're gonna go, "Man, I got the urge to work out." Like, it's little things like that that just make your day better. Or like, say at any time that you scroll past on if you're scrolling on Twitter, because I know how much I say, like, fuck social media, get off social media, y'all are still gonna be on social media.
Yeah,
Whenever you
like
get to the point
TikTok
where
and
you're like,
Twitter, they're fucking
yeah,
those
it's
are
it's
horrible. Those are hard to quit. So
super hard to quit. I empathize with those trying. It's tough, man. It took me a long fucking time to get to the point where it's like cold turkey on it. But you get to the point where you're bored on it. You just drop
yeah.
down and hit your push-ups or something. You know what I mean?
I think I would say the easiest way to start on this journey has to do with when you wake up. A lot of people, me included, like I used to wake up at like 9, 10, and that's still early for some people. Um, but now, like today, I woke up at 4:30. I meant to wake up at 5, but I woke up at 4:30.
Well,
And
what time do you go to bed normally? Like, what time are you going to sleep?
it's been around 9 now. So I go to bed about 9. Um, it used to be on the weekends, who knows?
Yeah,
It used to be I went to bed 11 on the weekdays and would
yeah,
wake up at 4:30 from my work, which probably was why I was so damn tired all the time.
yeah,
Because my brain wouldn't rest. It was just a lot of anxiety, a lot of thoughts till
yeah,
11, and that's when I would fall asleep. But now I fall asleep pretty much at 9,
yeah.
and
Because you
then
need time to
wake up pretty good at
decompress.
4:30. Yeah.
Yeah, you need time to decompress from your last activity versus bed. Like, that's a very real thing.
But I felt good today because I had my alarm set for 5 because it's Friday and I don't normally work on Fridays. But I ended up getting at 4:30. By 5:08, I was out lifting weights because that's part of my day. That's actually something I enjoy is I like lifting weights.
Yeah,
So that's very easy on the motivational factor is like and this week, me and Brenda got in a fight one of the days. Like, and our fights are never huge things; they're usually stupid things and just frustrating things. I basically went out to my garage and that I hit 9 sets with the 115, and I'm
yeah,
like felt good after. I was still kind of pissed and but after that I had cooled down quite a bit. So it's become both a mental and physical conditioning thing with the weights.
yeah,
um thing I need motivation for is the cardio, which, I would
yeah,
say I think most people hate cardio for the most part.
yeah. Most people hate cardio. I love cardio. I
Most
love it.
people
I'm
hate
gonna go to
cardio,
White Rock
but
tomorrow. If you live in Dallas, you can catch me at White Rock tomorrow in the morning, 8 a.m.
but
I'll be there.
I did do 30 minutes. I did do 30 minutes today, and I'll probably end up doing another 30 minutes, probably after the show, and before, the live show.
Yeah,
And
and
that's just
I got plans tonight. I don't got time for nothing.
and I'm just saying that's just one of those things is, you know, you gotta make it part of your routine, like we've said in the past 2 episodes, and once you make it part of your routine, it feels weird not doing it, or it
Yeah,
feels like I don't know, letdown? Is letdown a good word? Letdown to yourself and that, you know, I meant to do this.
yeah. It's all yeah. I mean, it's really just like the search to be more conscious, and the more that you literally work out your demons, and the more that you become more clear and level-headed, and like you're able to literally think before you speak. Isn't that a crazy concept, thinking before you speak? I still
That's
struggle
actually a
with
very
it.
good concept.
I still struggle with it sometimes myself, where like I'll just find myself in autopilot mode and I'm just saying shit just to say shit. But whenever you get to that point of consciousness, it becomes like this, it's just like stretching that muscle where it's like, okay, like the more the more that you realize that all these things that you view are holding you back, and that you're incapable of, and you realize that it's just yourself that's been holding you back, and it's not like, you know people talk about like, oh, I'm depressed, so like I don't feel like working out, and it's like, no, like, you not wanting to work out is a symptom of that depression. Like, you can
Right.
change that, you know what I mean? Like, once you realize that sitting inside, not getting any vitamin D, not getting any sunlight, sitting to a screen all day that's literally just radiation in your face and radiation in your eyes, and you're intentionally triggering your fight or flight um mode in your head by playing these shooter games that are literally like almost giving you a PTSD in a sense, like they really put you in the shoes of these people that you're playing as. You really feel like you're on the battlefield, like,
And it probably
with your
doesn't help.
life at hand.
They're getting so realistic.
Yeah,
The
but once
games they really are.
yeah, but once you realize that, like, okay, me partaking in these activities, I'm doing that because I'm depressed. And because I'm doing these activities and because I'm depressed, now you can realize and you can make that correction. You can say, okay, well, if Andrew Huberman, and all these books, these scientific books say that going outside and getting, as much sunlight as on your skin, you know, preferably is, earlier to whenever you wake up, and it has this effect on you, you know, to be able
I
almost like a plant with sunlight, it
actually,
gives
yeah.
you this positive energy.
And
Maybe
to
do
add
that.
on to that, I watched, I forget what YouTube. It was the one after the Jocko video I watched. But it was a pretty good video. And he mentioned the start of his day, he would just go outside and be in the sun for 10 minutes to wake up.
That's the
That is
first thing
how
you should do every day.
Yeah, that is how he would wake up. And it's just like, oh, well, that's I can understand that. That's just like, you know, not only welcoming the day, that's also just getting warmth on your
Yeah.
skin, and, just getting that light in your eyes, and just basically, you're starting your day off, like you said, with a big old dose of those vitamins, of
Hmm.
fresh air outside, of all that, and you're not just, waking up to just a closed off room that you've probably been breathing in dust all night.
Yep. Because part of why I've been struggling the past 2 weeks is because I haven't done that. Like, I'll wake up and I'll check my phone because I've been I'm in an interesting position with this girl that I've been seeing recently. But I get to the point where, like, I wake up and I'm like, okay, I want to check my phone. I want to see what she said to me overnight. But I know that I shouldn't be doing that. I know that I should be sticking to what my initial wake up schedule was, and wake up, don't touch the phone for the first like 2 to 3 hours a day. Like, I can, I'll throw on music for myself for whenever I go to the gym, but
Mhm.
that's different. Um, but wake up, don't touch your phone, don't get engaged with what's going on out in the outside world, because you don't need to welcome that in yet. You'll get to that whenever the priorities are done and you wake up, go outside, breathe some air, feel the sunlight. It's literally life changing. And the meditation, man, like, I cannot stress meditation enough. Like, if you're doing all this and you're not doing the meditation on top of everything, like, you're doing such a disservice to yourself, because y-
So before we go on to that, can you explain, like, how do you meditate? Like, is it just sitting in stillness, or what do you do to meditate?
so in the morning, what I do is, you can go outside, you can do it inside. I prefer places that are like, if I'm going to be inside, I prefer places that are more dim, like kind of like how my room is now, where it's a little dark, but there's like a little bit of light. And try to get into a place that's like as quiet as you can. You can do it with headphones. You could do it without headphones. Normally, when I'm inside, I'll do it with headphones because I'm trying to, I live in the big city, and I don't want to hear the cars and all that noise going
Yeah.
by me. Throw some relaxing music on, put some Duke music on, whatever works for you. Um, and then literally for 5 minutes, like 5 minutes minimum, I would say, all you do is just focus on your breathing. Just inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale.
And is
And
that
once
all
you
you're thinking about?
and
Just just
that's
that?
all you're thinking about, because you will get into the rhythm of inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And after about 30 seconds of that, your mind is going to put that into autopilot mode, where you're not having to think the words, your body is just doing.
Mhm.
And then that is where things open up. And that's where you can literally see, like, almost whenever you hold your eyes closed in that in that position, and your breathing is constant like that and it's consistent, you can almost see, like, the rays of energy in your eyes just kind of bubbling up about you, and you just kind of let your mind wander. And for those of you guys who are still, you know because we're all struggling with demons, it's going to be very challenging, because for a lot of and the reason why a lot of you guys are sitting at home playing these games, you know, watching porn, addicted to social media for 12 hours a day. A lot of the reason why you do that is because you don't have the ability to sit with yourself. Like, you don't have the ability to literally listen to the noise that's circulating in your own head because, because of the activities that you partake in, they've destroyed that, it's meditation is almost like rebuilding that, having to rebuild these affirmations within yourself to make yourself kind of believe that you can really do anything that you want to do in life. You can do it, but you have to be able to go in during these meditations and you have to be able to sort through that noise. I know that sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo for the people that like don't do meditation and you're like, oh, well, I don't, and I've tried it, it doesn't work for me. I'm telling you, by then start meditation today, and by the next time that we come back on for this show in another 2 weeks, I'm telling you, you're going to be a completely different person. The anxiety is going to go down. The negative thoughts are going to go down. Everything will become. You'll have just a natural bliss state that you'll be in. You'll literally be in a higher frequency. Like you'll literally just be like, man, like whenever you're depressed and you're just kind of there, like you're not really sad, you're not angry, you're just kind of like
Existing.
yeah, it won't be that. It'll be more than that. It'll be like, I'm open to possibilities. I'm open to opportunities. Like, let me make eye contact with this person and give them a smile. It's things like that, like the little things that will make your day better.
And I
Telling you,
think
man,
actually
meditation.
I think that's really good. I think that's really good advice to people is take out time out of the day and actually do that. Um, because I think a lot of people, at least I do or did or still do at work. I would always make the joke I run on stress and coffee. I do like, or I don't do as much stress anymore at work, but since
Yeah,
I've started this, but I literally do like, and I think that's what most people is caffeine and stress is what basically maneuvers them through the day or gets them through the day, and it's not healthy. It's it's
no,
it's not. It's not a healthy lifestyle.
no. I stress is an interesting thing because it's like you need you need stress in your life. You know
You
what I
need that
mean? But
cortisol.
if you're living your life, if you have a stressful job and you're not doing it, or you just have stressful situations that you're in, whether it's living conditions or, school or whatever it is, and you're not finding a way to exercise that out, via meditation, via working out, via journaling, whatever it may be. A lot of these people have convinced themselves that um, their way of dealing with that stress is by watching TV, is by watching movies, is by playing video games. They think that that is conducive to reducing their stress, and I think a lot of you guys are mistaking these dopamine hits, like we were talking about, like for something positive because it gives you a positive feeling. But that's the point of what it's supposed to do, right? But you ever notice how you're sitting there? Like I like to watch old Cheers episodes.
Mhm.
By the time I get to the third one, I'm kind of tapped out on it because my body has put me back into it's almost similar to a depressive state where you just feel that feeling of nothingness. Once I feel that feeling of nothingness, I realize that like, okay, well, what that was used like what this was useful for, what I was using it for, it has fulfilled its purpose and it's now time to move on to a different task. And a lot of us can't do that. A lot of us are, you're binge watching Stranger Things in one day, and you don't remember it. And 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
you're playing, 8 hours a day Call of Duty, and you're not even having fun after the third game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
and
and on top of that, what's up?
and I was gonna add to that is when you do stuff like that, when you binge watch and you play 8 hours of video games a day and you do all the stuff that takes a long time of your day where you're not really progressing in any form, you're just procrastinating on all the other stuff that needs to get done, like dishes need to be
Exactly.
cleaned, laundry needs to be done, grass needs to be mowed, like stuff like
Exactly.
repairs to your vehicle, repairs to your house, like stuff like that. That's an
Yep.
actual like need. You put that on the back burner because you're getting that dopamine from
Yep.
just sitting there watching TV.
And what happens to stuff whenever it gets left on the back burner for too long? It gets burnt, it makes a mess, it ruins the pot, everything stinks now, you can't get rid of the smog, it's everywhere, it consumes you. And that's what a lot of you guys are doing. Putting everything that you're putting all your stressors, your major stressors on the back burner, and you're turning up the heat and you're turning your back around to, go make a fucking Cobb salad. You're burning the dish here. You're ruining everything for yourself. And instead of saying, okay, I'm going to put it on the back burner, let me fix up this sauce real quick, let me get that out of the way, okay, now I can bring that back in, let me fix that dish up. You need to be able to, and this is part of like the meditation. I'm telling you guys, everything falls into place. It sounds like, what is working out going to do for me if I'm depressed? What is meditation going to do for me if I'm depressed? I'm telling you, I promise you, I swear, like I pinky swear to everybody listening, that everything will fall into place and you'll start to realize that this stuff is a lot easier than you thought it was, and you're a lot more capable of a lot of things than you thought you were. Those bills that have been eating up at you for 3 years, take a month to sit down and say, what is my financial plan to pay these off, and how fast and how realistic can I be about that? And once you get on that train of thought where it's like your priority is no longer trying to get a high score in a video game that doesn't matter and won't even matter to you in another 2 years whenever they put the new one out,
Mm-hmm.
into paying these bills off that are literally eating away at your soul. They're chipping away at your personality. You don't even realize it. But you started here and now you're here, and now your friends are leaving you. You know what I mean? And now your relationships aren't working out. And you don't, and you're blaming everyone but yourself. But the meditation is going to force you to look within, and it's going to force you to realize that you're the problem. The working out is going to help you exercise that stress. It's going to help clear your mind, and it's going to make you feel better whenever you literally can see your mind and your body start sharpening. It's literally like taking a dull knife and sharpening it. You will literally see yourself start to sharpen. And there's no better feeling, man.
Yeah, especially when you start to see the man titties start to go away. That's real
Oh
nice.
my goodness, it's a blessing. Some
Kevin
of y'all,
Kevin Gates is
some of
right.
y'all need that.
Did you see the new post of Kevin Gates? The one where he says, I finally, you're not on social media, but he
Yeah,
says,
I'm like, no,
I
man, I didn't
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
So you didn't see it, but he basically said, I finally feel like I'm where I want to be. And it was a picture of him with his shirt off. And like, dude looks like jacked. So good on Kevin Gates. Cause if people don't remember Kevin Gates, what, 5-6 years ago, he was fat.
Oh, he
He
was
was like
big,
300
man. He was
pounds.
a big one.
Yeah.
He was, a nice big man right there.
Yeah.
He's still big, but big in a different kind of way. He's big in a muscle way,
And he's
which,
on that. He's on those Ambrosia ads. Like, man, that
yup.
man's doing good. Speaking
Hey,
of
man,
ambrosia, I got the banana
the banana
made
maple,
French toast.
yeah,
Had first protein, just water and
yeah,
mixture of that, just a shake, and yeah, delicious, fucking delicious.
yeah,
Go get it,
that
guys.
shit's amazing. That shit's amazing. Because it's just like, that's why I take those for like whenever I got like that sweet tooth. I'm like, fuck it, let me just get my ambrosia. I feel like that's why I've been like, man, I'm feeling the ice cream hits again because I'm out of protein. I just bought some more, but you know, I got that campfire s'mores flavor, so we'll see how that
Mm.
goes.
I'm liking the pre-workout too. The it isn't the ambrosia one, but the one you mentioned when we
Oh
first started
yeah,
this.
yeah,
That stuff's delicious. That is what I go to like now before a workout, and also it kind of does the sweet tooth fix is that blueberry pomegranate because it is good.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
tasty.
yeah. You just got to be mindful with the caffeine sometimes, especially because like I like to, I've been more and more getting back on, like I'll drink a cup of coffee a day, so I got to moderate,
Yeah,
whenever I'm gonna drink the coffee versus when I'm gonna take the pre-workout, because it's like if I'm gonna work out first, I gotta go pre-workout and then wait a couple hours and then go with the coffee
and then
again.
get the
So that
coffee.
way my brain doesn't feel fried by the time 5 p.m. hits.
I did
Which
so Brenda made some cold brew or she made coffee last night, I guess, or the day before and put it in the fridge. So it was like a cold brew. So I added a little bit of that to my
Yeah.
to the maple,
Oh,
um,
nice.
to the banana maple, and yeah, it was good. That
Yeah.
shit was tasty.
I saw someone in like their comments had talked about like they did like they were doing like the protein like coffee mixture, and I was like, I wonder if that would be like a good thing to do. Like, I don't know if I could do that
Might be
like
good pre-workout. I
before
don't
a
know.
workout, but I could do it after because I don't know how I feel about
Oh yeah,
because I like to do
the
a lot of
protein
hit
before a
cardio.
workout. That's that because it makes you full. So
Well,
I
I mean, I always do protein before the workout, but I meant more so the coffee part because I'm
okay.
like, I don't want to be out here running and doing my hit cardio with coffee in my stomach, just like, oh, by the time I'm done, I'm like, got to get another dose of cardio, run into the restroom. I'm like, I don't want to do all that, but
Yeah,
you
true.
know, but but yeah, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, man, I'm feeling really good, and I feel like we could start with some like closing sentiments. I know we did a shorter episode today, but I feel very fulfilled in the
yeah.
conversation that we just had. I
I
feel like it
mean,
was a
I
good.
think we've kind of talked about basically what I came in here was wanting to talk about the definition of motivation. Just again from just watching Jocko Willink's videos and him just going in on like you know easy shit's easy to do. It's that important shit that you don't necessarily want to do, but you still do it. That's
Yeah,
motivation. And that I just thought that was a really good topic to bring up on this because I know we were just coming on here to just to talk and you know like we
yeah.
always do we're hanging out um
Think about how
and
much better you're gonna feel knowing that because if you know that you're sitting if you want that dream body that you've always thought in your head that you could achieve and that you can achieve. How is sitting on the couch for 9 hours today going to get you closer versus literally just doing another 20 push-ups?
yeah
Another that will
or
get you closer. Do things that
doing
get you
30-minute
closer.
walk on the treadmill
Yeah, do these things that get you closer. If you're suffering with depression, anxiety, meditate. Do something that's going to get you closer. Quit doing things that are conducive to that behavior into your bad habits. You know,
also
you know what? Maybe what I'll say for my last little bit of advice today. Get like a notepad, literally like draw a column right down the middle of it, and write out your good habits and write out your bad habits, just like this. Maybe not flipped like the way it is here, but write out your good and your bad habits in a column like that, and then realize whether or not you have more good habits and whether or not you have more bad habits. And then take the top three from each, and then write out what are things that you do in your daily life that are conducive to those habits, good or bad, and then work from there.
I'd also
I
throw
just made that
into
up, bro. I
there
should be a damn teacher.
pick up a book
Yeah,
reading just to get your mind going and because reading unlike television like I never think with television usually just watching
nah,
moving pictures on the screen. I usually don't think about what's going on, but with books like my mind's just kind of churning there of like sometimes I have to reread stuff of like okay what did they mean by this and then and then you're kind of making these correlations with stuff and you're just thinking about your own life and how you can progress from this information you just gained. So I think reading is a very important thing and we've been saying that we've been given like good book um what's the word
good
book
book recommendations.
recommendations. Thank you. Been given good book recommendations since the start of this.
I'm like looking around for a book that I want to recommend at the end of the episode, but
I'll
I'll
just say David Goggins Can't Hurt Me. That's my next one I'm going to read. I'm halfway through The Way of the Superior Man, so I got
yep,
half more to go on that. Those are the two that I will suggest.
yep, and I'll back those suggestions. I've read both books. Both books are phenomenal. Both books are honestly really, if you're a guy and you're feeling a little confused about yourself, The Way of Superior Man, I definitely feel like will help you decipher some things about yourself and make you a little bit more confident in the man that you are, and maybe you know it might help you eliminate some of those insecurities that you have, or it might help you identify some of those ones that you couldn't quite put the words on for, and it'll make you realize that maybe you know maybe it's not such a bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
And David Goggins' book, it's a really incredible story. Honestly, it's wild, man. It'll really put in perspective what are some of the things that you're dealing with versus what are some of the things that other people have dealt with. You know, a lot of y'all are complaining about being depressed, and it's like, and I'm not trying to like make anyone's shit sound worse than someone else's, but it's like a lot of y'all just aren't depressed. You just don't talk to girls. You don't get sunlight. But maybe if you started doing that, it might help. And I know that sounds kind of rude, but it's like, hey, this is the facts here, man. Like, if you
I,
want
I,
to if you want to get better with certain areas, you need to change your actions.
I think sometimes it just helps to change your perspective on stuff, to actually try different things and see, because you don't know what'll work or what won't until you do it.
Hmm. Exactly. All right, man. I'm good. I'm golden. I don't got nothing I
Uh,
want to plug except for
any
High Fly Radio is going live in about 20 minutes from now. So check that out.
any goals? Same goals as last time?
Goals, man. I feel like my current goals pay off my goddamn bills, man. Get those glasses paid for so I can be free from the
The
suffering, man.
always pay those damn bills off.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, debt seems to always come back in some form, just because that's how
yeah,
life is. But I can totally respect, trying to keep it at a minimum.
yeah.
Uh,
Keep it low, man.
I guess I'll plug, of course, thenerdcore.com, patreon.com/thenerdcore. And yeah, I don't really, you can follow me at randomgerm101. Go to our Discord. So yeah, that's about it for me. My
Yes, sir.
goal, I'm still getting through these books. I want to get through these books. I reached my 125, so I'm probably going to be there for a while if 115 is any indication. Which is fine. Like, I'm not trying to hurt myself here. So, uh, but other than that, like, yeah, probably just get through those books right now, and then just continue to be consistent with the exercise, with the cardio for sure, and the
Yeah,
lifting.
man. Cardio's a bitch, man, but it's it's so necessary
It's
to
necessary.
prolong your life. It's necessary.
It's necessary to basically, and it's good for you. Like, it sucks just thinking about doing it, but then when you do it, you do feel better.
Yeah,
But I guess with that, I guess we'll say goodbye.
that's
Till
it.
next time. Right. Later, guys.
That's it, man. Peace.